Yeah, immediately the chair leaves the chair, I become governor, which I will not necessarily share if I see the same question that I was given as a lead from May seat. The issue was when and how the tender was advertised. The tender was advertised on Monday, 27th January 2025, through page 2 of the Daily Nation for the supply and delivery of hybrid maize under tender number 170-6296 of 2024-2025 as Pandex 1, which is on page 6. Additionally, the tender notice was published on the official Trans Nzoia account website, www.transnzoia.go.ke, the suppliers portal, www.supplier.treasury.go.ke, the government tenders portal, www.tenders.go.ke, and the county public service board. 2, the list of companies or entities that submitted bids for the tender. Number 1 was Kenya Seed Company Limited of PO Box 553, 3200 Kitale. Relief Line Kenya Limited of PO Box 25914, 100 Nairobi. And Western Seed Company of PO Box 1022, 3200 Kitale. Number C, the evaluation and awarding criteria outlined in the tender documents. The evaluation, which was at 3 stages, the preliminary, technical evaluation, and financial evaluation, and awarding criteria was as contained in the tender document, indicating the actual scores as per the attached Appendix 2, which is on page 8. Question 4, quantity of maize seed procured and the unit cost per bundle, and whether the cost was aligned to the prevailing market rates at the time of procurement. 256,029 packets of 2 kg each. 1 kg at a unit price of Kenya shillings 210. 2 kg at a unit price of Kenya shillings 420. A bundle has 12 packets of 2 kilograms costing 5,040 Kenya shillings per bundle. Note, based on the approved budget and market price, the initial quantity that was to be procured was 145,700 at a cost of 690. This was based on the market survey. You have to go to the market with the price as per Appendix 3 on page 23, requisition form. However, the Ministry of Agriculture circular reference number MOA/LCD/9/16/7, which revised the Kenya Seed Company pricing to Kenya shillings 420 per 2 kg packet, as documented in Appendix 4 on page 28, enabled the department to procure 256,029 packets out of estimated targeted population of 400,000 poor small-scale farmers, as per Akipra 2024. Number 5, criteria for identification and vetting of the beneficiaries, including the total number of packets of maize allocated to each beneficiary. Eligibility criteria. These must be small-scale farmers, small-scale land owners of 0.2 acres or less who are poor. Another category of widows, the youth, the elderly, persons living with disabilities, women or resource poor individuals. The selection of beneficiaries was conducted through a thorough vetting process by a designated ward selection committees. The County Executive Committee member is the appointing authority of the vetting committees as per the Trans Nzoia County Crop Agriculture Act 2021, Clause 9, which is Appendix 5 on page 30. The vetting criteria adopted the guidelines developed from Clause 10 of the Crops Act, that's Appendix 6 on page 34. Each beneficiary was allocated 1 packet of 2 kilograms certified hybrid seed maize. Number 6, the mode of communication with the public and how the distribution was undertaken in the county. The public was informed through multiple channels, the usual one that use, including the ward planning committees, which comprise of ward administrator, ward agricultural officer, area chief, a representative of the area member of the county assembly, representatives of youths, representative of persons with disabilities, and representative of women. Distribution of notification letters to ward administrators, chiefs and village elders, use of public address systems, social media platforms, and public posters. How were the distributions undertaken in the county? Venues were identified per ward as per the third schedule, Appendix 7 on page 39. The distribution was done publicly at the identified venues. And for the chairman, I want to confirm that I attended all the distribution activities in all the 25 wards. Some had 2 venues, others had 1, but I was personally present in all of them. So that's our report. The rest are supporting documents.
Is that all? Do you want to cede way to your CCM Agriculture to say anything or to add anything?
Unless you have something to add, that was the report from the counter. Maybe if there are any issues to be raised, then we'll respond.
So you're prepared for questions. Members, what just for some direction, Governor, if we ask you questions and should you want to consult or ask your CCM to respond, you'll ask for leave so that they can then respond to the question. Now, just some housekeeping issues. I want you to refer to page 10, page 13, page 16 and 18. Go to page 10. Members, go to page 10. I don't know whether all of you are able to read, whether your page 10s are legible. Maybe you can. Page 10, you can go to page 10 that has a list of the score sheet. What is the date of page 10? Governor, just page 10. We cannot clearly see. Is there a date for at page 10?
It's 10. 3rd of February. 3rd of February, 2025.
Well, where is the 3rd of February? That's or 3rd of, up on the part of the date.
Just before farms, that is satisfied. It's the date.
They're different. Some are not ready. What about page 13? We go to page 13 again, the one that is also not very clear. 13 was not, some of them are not numbered. I don't know whether you have page 13. And page 16 as well. 16 again is not very clear. I think the same document.
Yeah. We have it.
And page 17 and 18 as well.
Yeah, documents that were written by hand. So many of them.
They become unclear. The team should make better for this next time. Now, so Governor, you have presented, you have indicated the supply chain and how the procurement process was undertaken. I would ask members to dive right to questions. I will start with Mr. Abbas.
Thank you, Chair.
Senator Abbas, proceed.
For one, I think I will ask through your Chair about whether the Governor can be able to present something readable that's eligible to be seen, that can be seen. Because these are very important documents. So you can have original copies or whatever, however you do it. I request for copies. So, okay, my question is, Honorable Speaker, sorry, Governor. You know, in line with Section 104(1) of County Government Act 265, can you confirm that the document series was part of the approval plans or part of the budget? You have approval?
I can confirm, Chair, that we had a budget for the seat. It was captured even in our procurement plan.
You have a copy of that plan?
You have it?
Governor, have you shared that document with your response?
No. It was not part of the queries.
So are you able to avail the document?
Yes, we have. We have the document.
Senator is referring to.
Actually, I'm told it's attached. Which page? Page 40. On page 40.
On the same point?
Yes.
Proceed, Senator.
Page 40. Approved development budget estimates for financial year 2024-2025.
The problem is that your responses are not numbered. There's no numbering. There's no numbering of the documents that I have. What I have does not have, is not paginated.
Time, Chair, the time. We can't have a perfect document because of the shortness of time.
Page 40.
Development budget.
Yes. Under 311301, purchase of certified crop seed. It's 100,503,121.
So this thing approved by the Assembly?
Definitely. It was.
Do you have the approvals by the Assembly? Do you have evidence of approval by the Assembly? Now that you I think is a question you need to complete.
Yes, you know, once the Assembly approves the budget, it's going to be for sent. So really, if a copy is required, I can get it from my office.
Yes, it's important because that's an important question.
Because the budget, the approved budget is there, we can provide it.
Yes, I think that's important for your department to ensure that
It's provided.
it's available for purposes of responding to that question comprehensively. Okay. Senator Bass, any other question?
No, good.
Senator Ngoma?
Now, you have clearly indicated that it was budgeted for.
Yes.
I want to find out from your office if there is a clear inventory after the supply of these seats, if there is an inventory of who received them, how they were kept, and by the time of distribution, if there is any documentation to that effect. So that you can be able to know that they truly supplied what has been given to us today.
Honorable Senator, the inventory is there of what was procured and received and how it was distributed.
Do you have copies of the delivery, whoever delivered, who received, and who was issuing the seats as they were going to the field? The documentation part of it.
We have the documentation.
Please.
Which page is it? S13, for receiving.
Again, there is no pagination. I need to know, can you share that actual page, because we don't have...
This one is a bulk document. It's not contained in the report. The file is here.
So does that file have a list of beneficiaries and a list of deliveries, word by word?
Chair, what we have is a list of S13s. These are documents that you issue when you receive supplies. That have received this quantity of supplies you received with that. And then now you issue with an S11. We have them here. Now the person who receives with that S11 is the one who generates the distribution list, and it is there. All that chain is there. We can provide it.
So Governor, you are saying that you have a list of all the beneficiaries who received the receipts per ward?
Yes.
Do you have it here? Can you table the entire set of documents? Can you table that?
We have it, they can go and get it.
Can they, because we need it table, because that is...
Honorable Chair, before he leaves, you know, we were talking about whoever received the seats from the company or the tender, and whoever was issuing the seats from the warehouse, because they were specific based on your research. If it was going to Kaplamai, there is a form that was filled by the person in charge going to the specific ward, so that we escalate from the person in charge to the ward. Thank you. Thank you, Chair. So if they have it, we'll be glad to have them.
That information is there.
So how long do you need to bring that information? It's important to tell. So I assume that then you have the list that will indicate the dates when seats were taken, for instance, to Machewa, Virunda, Kasudi, Sabata, Mbai, Mbao, with the numbers, with the specific numbers. Namwichula, Halwenge, all those places.
We have all of them.
A distribution chain.
It's here, we have. Of course, there are 25. There are 25 files.
Yes.
Because I've got 25 wards. And some wards have got more like 2-3 files because there are 2-3 venues.
So do you need time? Do you want to table them now, or do you need how much time do you need to bring those documents?
They're just in the record. They can be brought.
Yes, I think they can be brought then.
You know, the problem is we are not told the required documents. You look at the questions, Chair. So that's fairly straightforward. This information, this information, this information. But now these particular details, you know, if we're told now come with this and this and this, we'll be having this, we'll be having all this information.
Okay, so let him avail those documents as we proceed. Senator, any other question?
Maybe, Chair.
Yes, Senator Abbas.
See, was there a public consultation when they could distributing the seats? What criteria do you use? Are you give it to everybody, or you give it to specific Thomas?
As I said,
Are you doing groups?
no. We use the poverty index to identify the number of eligible people for this seat in Tanzania. One of our guiding principles was that we'll give farmers who have a maximum of 0.2 acres. We call them Mutembei. The 2 kgs of maize seed would comfortably be planted on 0.2. So prior to the distribution of these seeds, we had identified there would be beneficiaries, and the numbers were huge. Because some places we had around 10,000 people, 15,000 people. When we issue this seed, and outside I would think it's a very chaotic assignment, but they don't know that a lot of planning has gone into it. We know our people, we know who is eligible, and we know who is not eligible. So it was not just like we call a random distributed seed. That's why we put a list of beneficiaries.
Governor, just on that question, I think it's good to clarify. Where did you get the poverty index for Trans Nzoia? Because there's none.
Kipra.
Because there's none. Where do you get disaggregated to the wards? How do you determine poor people in Trans Nzoia? And does it mean that if you own half an acre or 0.2 acres, as you say, then you are poor? Because there are people who own half an acre and are richer than those who own 10 acres.
Mr. Chairman, those of us who grew in the village, you don't need that to know a poor person. But there are people who think that poverty is an academic exercise. So we engage in those kind of arguments. But a person who is poor, you go to the village, just this person is poor. And that's what we're talking about. A person having 0.2 acres of land, and he has got 10 children, he has got a wife, he's about to share that same piece of land with the children who are married. You know, poverty out there doesn't need indicators, academic indicators. It just need, it's known. Academic translate talking about 38% poverty index, but you look at other authorities, again they talk of 60%. So basically, like every little small scale farmer in Trans Nzoia is poor. If it were for me, I wouldn't even do targeting, and if I had money, I'd just buy it and distribute to everyone.
Governor, I'm asking this because I personally distribute seed. I buy and distribute.
I'm sure you struggle with means testing, even the way she struggle with means testing.
Except the money from my pocket. But let me answer the question.
Yes.
What was the threshold of poverty that your team used in seed distribution? Or did you involve, I think it's talking about public works, did you involve the ward administrators and other levels of administration to identify people who are poor?
There is a criteria that is contained, it's on page 4. I read it. The criteria is there, eligibility criteria.
Through the chair, I'm looking at the criteria and the good minister is here. It says, your report, selection of beneficiaries was conducted through a thorough vetting process by designated ward selection committees. If I stop at that and ask through the governor, do you have minutes of the planning as a minister, the planning for the distribution of those seats at the county level, the minutes of that thing, and then escalate that to the minutes of formalizing or formulating these committees which you are in charge to formulate? And where were they done? And at what time? And then we proceed from that. When did you officially appoint these people? And that now comes to the question. Where, Governor, when you are talking us through that, it was announced in various platforms. I'd like to see if you have copies of notification to the chiefs that you have indicated, to the ward administrators as you've indicated, to the representatives of the county assembly like my good friend who is here. If we can get those notices of notification that this is the process that's going to be done. We have those minutes and that through the governor.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, proceed, the governor, proceed.
Mr. Chair, we appear to be addressing issues we do not know. What is the issue? Are we saying that we don't distribute seed? Are we saying that we gave to the wrong people? Are we saying that we didn't buy seed? Because we need to know what the issue is. What is the issue we are responding to? When we look at our ingredients, that's just general statements. But we go to the specifics. What is, was there a complaint? What is the issue? So that we really know the background, so that we respond when we talk about. Because what the member is talking about, if you give the employers a set way of distributing maize seed in Kenya, you must have this committee, you must have this one. What authority is it quoting? So We need to know what the issue is. What are the issues?
Through the chair, let me just go through this. Page 4 of the submissions of eligibility criteria issue. Small scale landowners who are poor, widows, youth, persons with disability, and all that. Selection of beneficiaries was conducted through vetting process by designated ward selection committees.
Yes.
So the question I asked for the first time is, where are the minutes of these ward selection committees as they were doing the vetting exercise? That is my point number 1.
Let us know that one.
I proceed.
What the minutes of what committees?
The ward selection committees.
Yes.
And if the vetting was done, the minutes must indicate those people they vetted.
Yes.
Because it must translate into the list of beneficiaries of the seats that you procured. Okay? And I've equally asked Good Waziri to give us, if she has the minutes, because you have the authority, the first meeting of planning for the distribution of these seats to the ward, if you have those minutes, so that it cascades down to the beneficiary of the seats.
Through the chair, yes we do.
Proceed. Do you have them? You can table them.
The minutes of what selection committees? Which files?
They were appointed by the CCM.
Yes.
Yes, so let's have the minutes of their proceedings so that we then can identify those beneficiaries. I'm sure they did. And Governor, you're asking, what are we looking for? We are not looking for anything. We are doing oversight over your processes as by the mandate of this committee. So I don't think we should be worried. And just to are you have another question? Governor,